Hello, Raiko. How are you this evening? Looking forward to tonight's show?
I'm really looking forward, Tim, to Chessboxing at Royal Albert Hall. Who would have thought we'd finally get here? It's incredible.
Make some noise for the pride of London.
It's a pretty
Chris,
tight contest, difficult one to call this. Tim Bendfeldt has had a couple of fights. He's coming back from a recent defeat in Berlin when he was put down in round 2 by a punch on the throat. Very painful that was.
Yes, so Tim's always done very well in London, however. The last time he fought in London, his opponent took his queen.
Traveling all the way from Kiel in Germany, it is Tim C.S.I. Benfeldt.
Here comes Tim now.
As I was saying, the opponent took his queen, and Tim was so angry he knocked him out in the next round.
That's right, I remember that fight well, but that's just before Tim went out and got knocked out himself, so interesting contest ahead. And the chess grade of these players is pretty high. I think Tim's 2100 ELO.
Yeah, Tim is 2100, so he's a strong county player.
And what does Chris come in at on the ELO rating?
Chris is a little bit weaker. He's about 1900, so he's still a very strong club player. There's not much in it. Anything can happen in the chess. So this is definitely one of the strongest matchups we've ever had in the chess part of Chessboxing.
We'll start with chess, then boxing in alternate rounds. And your commentator for the chess action is the incomparable international master, Malcolm Payne.
Okay, everybody, you ready for some fantastic chess? Some very high quality chess. We've got a man here with a chess rating of 1,920. It may just be a number to you and me. It means he's a county strength player. But from Germany, we've got a man who won the Class D Amateur Chess Championship of Germany. So we're expecting some of the highest quality chess. Now, just to explain, there'll be 6 rounds of chess lasting 4 minutes each in between the boxing. And both players are playing on the clock. This here is a chess clock. Both players have 12 minutes each for all their moves. If they don't make their moves in 12 minutes, they lose. It doesn't matter if there's checkmate, it doesn't matter if it's draw. If you run out of time, if that clock says 0, 0, 0, you lose. So they'll have to play pretty quickly at times. The general rule is try not to be the person who makes the first move after the boxing round, because for some reason, it tends to be a crap move. Can't think why that is. Now, to ensure that we have fair play on the chessboard, we have a chess referee, also an international master. I'd like to welcome to the stage International Master Lauren Costa, who will make sure there are no illegal moves and that they hit the clock in the right way. Please welcome Lauren. As well as being a professional chess player, Lauren also coaches one of the most incredible kids. Some of the chess people here will know about 8-year-old Joshua Altman, who recently beat one of the best players in Britain. In fact, the British number 2, in a 5-minute chess game, and that's because it's being coached by Lauren. Now, the first part of a game of chess is we decide who will play with the white pieces and who will play with the black pieces. The person who plays white moves first. It's a bit like having the advantage of serving in tennis. Lauren, if you'd like to choose the colors. Thanks a lot. Okay, well, Tim's traveled further. Let him choose. He's chosen black. Tim's chosen the black pieces. Ooh, that's first blood to Chris. Okay, now I'll be commentating on the games and explaining the moves. That's if I can concentrate. And what we do And what we do when we've all calmed down is we put headphones on the players so they can't hear my wonderful, insightful commentary, otherwise they might know what to do. And the music is going to be piped in really, really loud. And we're going to be playing the vaccines tonight, which is because, of course, chess boxing has come of age. Some of you might get that. Now, on the screen here, we have a representation of the chessboard as the pieces move on the board. All being well with the aid of modern technology, wonderful technology. You will see the pieces move over there. You can also see their times, which start at 12 minutes each. I think without further ado, referee, if we're okay, let's get the chess match going. Let's hear it. Okay, E4, E6. That is the French defense. The Germans playing the French. That's a bit weird. Okay, knight into the center. Very sensible move. So black's taken the center with pawns. It's very important in chess to control the central squares. If you look, it's a bit like battleships. You've got A to H going across left to right, 1 to 8 going from the bottom up, so you can work out what squares I'm referring to. The key squares in chess are E4, where the white pawn is, D4, D5, and E5. If you control those squares, you control the game. Now, Chris has, well, this is a technical term for you. Those of you who want to go to the pub and talk a good game of chess, that bishop in the left-hand corner on the B2 square is called a Fianchetto. So next time you play someone in the pub, you want to frighten them, just Fianchetto your bishop and say, that's a Fianchetto. Okay, second bishop out into the game to B5. That pins the knight on the C6. So that knight that Tim has developed actually can't move, because if it moved, it would be check. So already, Chris has got 3 of his pieces in the game. Tim's only got 1, which is why he develops another one to F6. Knight to F6. Very sensible move. Attacking the center and also attacking the pawn on E4. So, Chris takes that pawn. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. It's still material is level. Now, we could have a check. No, we don't. D4. Attacking the center. Wow, that was tricky. Okay, that's a bit of a risky move, but it controls the center. It occupies the center with pawns. Pawn takes another pawn. Now, don't panic. Don't panic. Oh, he has panicked. Okay. He probably didn't realize he could have taken that back with the queen, because the knight on the C6 couldn't have taken the queen. No, he retreated. It's a bit nervous being in the Albert Hall and loading bay. Bishop takes knight. Pawn takes bishop. Hey, that's 3 points each. Knight takes pawn. A beautiful knight in the center of the board, controlling loads and loads and loads of squares. So I'd say this position looks quite nice for white at the moment. But notice that both sides have still got their kings where they started. One's on E1 and one's on E8. It's very important in chess to get your king out of the center. Otherwise, it can be in danger. Queen D3. Very good move from Tim, C.S.I. Castling. Oh! Chris has castled on the opposite side of the board. Queenside castling, ladies and gentlemen. Aggression. Violent intent. And immediately, Tim starts a pawn storm and Chris blocks it off with the move A4. He doesn't want any more trouble on the queen side, where his king is. Very, very unclear position. The times, well, they're roughly equal. They're roughly equal. Tim's got 10 minutes, 33 seconds, and Chris 10:53. So nothing really in it there, and the position probably about equal. Queen C8, getting the queen onto a slightly more active square, perhaps. Knight out, good move. Very, 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 very high quality. Yeah, C5, oh, wicked, attacking the knight. A lot of danger here suddenly for Chris. A lot of danger, which might explain why his hands hovered over the board, not sure what to play. C4, nasty, attacking the queen. Very nasty. Very nasty, but I think he's seen it. Oh, now that queen and bishop are very powerful on the diagonal. There's a wicked trap here. The queen and bishop are begging that knight on F6 to move, because if it moved away, suddenly there'd be a checkmate idea. Oh! But he's done it anyway. He's done it anyway. Now, there are all sorts of interesting possibilities now, but I think the bell's going to go any second. All sorts of very interesting moves. But I'm not going to say them in case the vaccines aren't loud enough. But you can see that queen and bishop are lined up on the diagonal. The bishop on B2 in the bottom left-hand corner and the queen just in front of it. They radiate a hell of a lot of power because the bishop is behind the queen. Up, he's moved the queen, just got it out of the way. Playing it safe. And now there can't be too many moves before the bell goes, I suspect. And the bishop, oh, bishop c5, wicked, pinning the knight. Okay, off with the headphones and let's have some boxing. Let's hear it for these guys.
Well, that was a amazing start to the chess, Tim. 18 moves in just 4 minutes. What do you think of that?
Pretty incredible. That's unusual, isn't it, to have so many moves so quick?
Incredible, yes. So White played a hyper-modern opening. He ceded the centre. Then Black, you could see he got those pawns moving on the C and the D files. And then on about move 12, the general, he really threw down the gauntlet. He castled on his queen side, opposite sides to C.S.I. And there's a pawn storm. And if you look at Black's pawns, they're close to White's king, but White's pawns aren't too close to Black's king. So I think definitely aggressive attention from C.S.I. And I think the boxing's going to start any moment soon.
Who do you think's winning this chess game, Raggo?
Well, Bendfeldt with black pieces definitely has the initiative. He's got those pawns and pieces pointing towards White's king and queen.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes in the boxing, because if anything, Chris Levy has trained like crazy for this fight. I've visited him at his training camp in Islington, and yeah, he's looking in pretty ferocious shape.
Yeah, and he's got some lucky red trunks. Normally, Bendfeldt wears red trunks, but so maybe
fighters?
That's an omen.
Chris with that characteristic high guard, leading with a stiff jab into Benfeldt's face.
A wild swing from Benfeldt there, he's on the ropes.
And here comes Benfeldt now with another jab of his own. He lands on Chris and scores. But Chris strikes back with a straight right to the head. Oh, a good hard punch to the body. And Tim is rocked. Tim is rocked. Benfeldt was rocked by that blow from Chris Levy there, and this fight is certainly not going according to Benfeldt's plan at the moment. He was hit by a great shot to the midsection, and then Levy followed it up with a left hook. Now comes back with a left hook of his own.
That definitely shook Benfeldt.
Both these fighters are throwing caution to the wind now. They're really giving us a show.
Well, it's an 11-round contest, remember. 6 of boxing, 5 of chess, so they better preserve some energy for later.
Well, they went really fast in the chess game. 18 moves in those in that first chess round. It looks like they're trying to finish this early tonight.
Of course, what people at home don't realise is they got so much adrenaline running through their systems that they play the chess super quickly. Even before round 1, they've been warming up like mad, so they got huge amounts of adrenaline pumping through their system.
Oh. Bit of hugging going on there.
Benfeldt just wants
Benfeldt's
to...
looking a bit tired. He seems to have lost a little bit of his joie de vivre in this round. A little bit of afters there. A little bit of afters, but a handshake from both men and no hard feelings. So back to the chess game. That was a pretty astonishing round of boxing in which Benfeldt came out, I would say, the favourite in terms of experience, because Tim's had, Chris Levy's had 2 bouts, 2 defeats, but he'd gone back to the drawing board in the training camp and really it showed as he's come out this time.
Yes, Tim, a real revelation from the general there, because Benfeldt, he's an experienced champion Thai kickboxer, and you'd expect him to have the fitness and the aggression, and he was definitely shaken by the general in certainly 2 points in that round.
Benfeldt talking to his trainer, that's his trainer there, giving him a few words of advice. I wonder what he was saying there.
Well, I think he's just telling him to stay out of trouble and pick his moments. So a changeover crew have put the chessboard back in the ring. They're having a few more last moments before they commence round 3.
And here comes Lisa Shepley with the round card. There's the lovely Lisa Shepley.
And well, if we look at the chess position, it was on the background there. We can see who's it to move. It's White's to move. At the moment, Black played a very aggressive move. His bishop went from the E7 squared, coloured blue, to the C5 squared. And you can see that's got an X-ray attack against White's queen on the E3 square. If it wasn't for the knight on the way, the bishop is threatening to take White's queen. So a very dangerous situation for the general. With the white pieces, he has got some attacking possibilities. That bishop lining up against the king. And we're about to start the chess any moment soon.
The vaccines are being pumped out at high volume. And when we're ready, let's ring the bell and start the clock. Okay, the times are almost equal. It was Chris's move. He just drops the queen back 1 square, getting it out of the way of that bishop that had moved to C5. Oh, that's in his guts. Right in his guts. A pawn thrust into the heart of the white position. Pawn to C3. Hitting that bishop, it was such a shocker. Chris actually knocked his king over accidentally, which actually means I resign in chess, but we'll overlook that. Now that bishop on A1, look at that bishop in the corner, the bottom left of your screen. It's basically completely out of the game. It's completely blotted out by that pawn on C3. That's very, very unpleasant for White. Very, very unpleasant. And what Tim's done is he's played rook to B8, pointing at the king. And that looks particularly nasty. That rook in the top left-hand corner next to the queen has got what we call an open file. It's pointing all the way down from B8 down towards the pawn on B3. And this looks extremely dangerous for White, extremely dangerous. He's got a terrible bishop that's entombed on A1, whereas that knight on E4 dominates the center of the board. This looks particularly unpleasant. Queen C5, oh, an evil move. Queen C5 attacking the rook on D4 and also looking in another, rook takes knight, brilliant move. Brilliant move. Absolutely brilliant move, a sacrifice, probably the only way to avoid immediate defeat. Chris sacrifices a rook for a knight and a pawn. Now in chess, a rook is worth 5 points, a knight is worth 3 and a pawn 1. So effectively Chris has given up 1 pawn, he's given up 1 point, and he gained the initiative by attacking that pawn on E6 that has just moved forward 1 square. So he's put himself right back in the game with a sacrifice. Brilliant chess from Chris, but it's still a very, very difficult position for him. Okay, brings the last piece into the game. Rook goes to E1, attacking the pawn on E5. Now the queen and the rook are really quite well coordinated. And the game's going to revolve around whether that bishop that you see in the bottom left-hand corner, which has got to be one of the saddest chess pieces I think I've ever seen, whether that bishop ever gets back into the game. If it gets back into the game, White's playing chess. If it doesn't get back into the game, he's almost certainly going to lose. Pawn F4, wow, an amazing move. Okay. Amazing. Now I'm going to try and explain why he's done it. He's obviously trying to open the file. He's trying to open the file for that queen and the rook. But Tim's called his bluff. Queen takes rook, rook takes queen. Okay, oh, crazy. Queen, rook for 2. 2 rooks for a queen. Queen takes F2. Wow, it's all happening. They're playing incredibly quickly. I think the nerves have got to them, ladies and gentlemen, because they don't have to play that quick. They could be playing a lot slower. They could just pause it. They've still got both 8 minutes left, which is a long time in chess. A long time in chess. But look at this. That queen is hoovering the kingside. The bishop's out. The bishop is out. The bishop is out on C3. Gosh, it went to it. It's incredible. It changed colours there for a moment. I was seeing things. But that pawn is heading for a touchdown. No, it's been taken. It's been taken, but it's queen against rook. It's check. Check to the king. Out of check. Check to the king. Out of check. Queen takes pawn. It's a complete hoover of the king side. Check. King goes up. Rook to A7. Trying to grab that pawn on A5 to give himself a chance. Queen goes into the center defending it. And now White is in a lot of danger. There could be what we call a skewer where the queen attacks. Oh, it's a runner. That pawn on H5 heading down to the right-hand side. It's going down. It's trying to make a queen. It's heading for a touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing now can stop it, as they said in the song. Queen e2, king, pawn h3. If that pawn reaches the end of the board, we will see a new queen created. And now white is desperately trying to give checks. Oh, there's another check. Out of check. Check, out of check, attacking the rook. This really looks over. This looks like this bout will be settled on the board, ladies and gentlemen. Black is about to make a second queen. Yep, white has to give his rook up for it, and now it's desperation time, trying to get those pawns down the board. Oh, it's all over.
Well, how about that, ladies and gentlemen? That was about 50 moves in total. That's incredibly quick chess. And Bendfeldt, I can understand why he wants to play quickly. He was a bit behind on the boxing, but the general, he can move a bit slower. He can take his time to pick his defense correctly. The general, he wants as many boxing rounds as possible if he's behind in the chess. So he played a lot quicker than he needed to. I think it's going to be difficult now. He needs a knockout, I think, in this round. Or otherwise, he's at high risk of losing at the chess the next round. So really, general, I think he just lost the plot there. And this is a problem with chess boxing. There's so much adrenaline through your system, you experience a neural hijacking. You can't think properly.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a pretty short-lived game once they get back to that chessboard, if they get back to the chessboard, because Chris Levy managed to get on top in the last round, and he's going to have to complete the job in this round, otherwise it's all over.
Yeah, I think Chris Levy plays so much blitz chess. That's chess with just 1 or 2 minutes for all your moves. He forgot he was in a chess boxing contest. He just thought he was playing chess, and he wanted to finish a game and do another one. But no, we got boxing as well, the general. So the limbering up, Benfeldt knows what he wants to do. He just needs to hold on to this round, and he's got a good chance of mopping up the chess with his extra queen.
Well, Tim's not known for his defensive style, so let's see how he reacts. Is he going to cover up?
Well,
it doesn't look like it. He's coming out throwing punches. Chris knows he's got it all to do.
You can see the anguish on the general's face. He's still thinking about the chess game.
General certainly is, and General collects a jab right in the forehead there. Levy coming forward with a crouching style, looking for that overhand right. But Tim counters, Benfeldt counters with a stiff jab. Benfeldt is boxing very nicely, showing a talent. They've got him 2 early victories and a knockout in his first 2 bouts. Chris needs to be doing more work than this. It looks like he's trying to take it easy, and he collects a left hand and an uppercut now. And in fact, if anything, it looks as though Benfeldt is starting to build up some points with a vicious counter-punching.
Yeah, Benfeldt's keeping his distance and picking his punches. I think he looks safe in this boxing round, unless the general can pull a rabbit out of the hat.
That's a heck of a body blow, and I see Benfeldt blowing from that right hook to the solar plexus. Can Levy push home his advantage? A jab to the German's jaw.
It was a German with the black and white trunks, so he certainly has the chess-related trunks. And we have an untied shoelace, so memories of famous fights gone by.
Yeah, they stopped the clock for that while they tied up Benfeldt's shoes. This has given Chris a chance for a breather, and out he comes. He's trying everything he's got now. It's the kitchen sink attack from Chris Levy. A good straight left to the jaw, but the Germans stand strong. Levy coming forward still, looking for that knockout blow. It doesn't look as though it's going to come. And Benfeldt hugs and covers up, and that could be that.
That is that, and I think I see Groucho Marx in the audience there, Tim.
Where's that? I didn't see that.
In the background. Maybe we'll see him again later on.
I missed that one, Reiko. Hopefully we'll get a look at him in a moment. So they're resetting the pieces for what is more than likely to be quite a short round of chess, because with just 2 pawns against the queen, it's really a hopeless position for White.
Oh, you're such a pessimist, Tim. You know, anything can happen in chess boxing, as you well know. And there is a rule in chess called stalemate. Even if you're a queen up and your opponent, it's his move, but he has no moves, then it's actually a draw. So there's always hope for general.
That's true. There could be a stalemate. The king could be trapped with no legal squares to move, but if it's not in check, it's a draw.
Indeed, and the general, he can think about his moves, he can take a bit of time, but he can't deliberately time waste, or the referee will start counting him out to 10.
Very unlikely, though, with a player of Tim's undoubtedly chess-playing strength, that he'd allow that stupid mistake to happen.
I think so, but I think he'll take his time.
Position on the chessboard as we go into round 5, the third round of chess. We have Chris, the General Levy, in full retreat. He only has a king and 2 pawns left, while Tim has a queen, the most powerful piece on the chessboard. It'll be a miracle if Chris survives. The headphones are on. The vaccines are pumping up the volume. Referee, when you're ready, let's hear the bell, and let's see how long he lasts. 8 minutes each, let's go! Okay, pawn to a5, desperately trying to make a queen before the checkmate arrives. No, illegal move, referee! Referee, oh yes, boo, illegal move. Oh, and it's mate! He's mated him in 1, it's over, black wins. Queen a2, checkmate, a brilliant
A gallant
fight.
game of chess
Well
there.
done.
That's a beautiful checkmate, Tim, absolutely beautiful.
Germany beats England in this first bout of chess boxing. A great performance on the chessboard. Thank you, I'll see you in the next bout.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by checkmate in the 5th round, from Germany, Tim C.S.I. Benfeldt! Let's have a quick chat with our 2 combatants of that fight. Chris, let's talk to our gallant loser first. Chris. Chris, that's you had a big smile on your face at the start of that final round of chess. Did you know that the end was near?
I knew I had practically 0.001% chance in that last one. In chess boxing, you've always got to make him do it. He can always make a mistake, but I know that Tim is such a strong player. He wasn't going to make it, but I was at least going to give him the pleasure of checkmating me after playing such a good game of chess.
That's very generous and very gallant way of putting it, Chris. Did you? It was carnage basically in the 3rd round of chess. There were pieces being taken everywhere. When did you think, oh, this is going downhill for you?
I was slightly worse after the 1st round of chess, but in the game, the 2nd round, my strategy was to try and put a bit of pressure on him on the clock, make him move a bit quicker. Hopefully, he'd make a mistake. In the end, I think that backfired on me. I ended up making a mistake. I let him in my position, drove my bishop back into a terrible, terrible square. From then, I was playing 1 piece down pretty much, and he closed it out perfectly.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, that's Chris Levy. And our winner, Tim Bendfeldt. Tim. So not quite a 2nd round knockout this time. That one was a bit more hard work, but nevertheless, you came through victorious.
Yeah, it's because the quick chess, you know. I know I'm a little bit better at chess play, and I think Chris moved a little bit too quick. And so I have to move pressure on the board on him, and he had to come in the boxing rounds, and I have to move, and he hit me sometimes very hard with his right hand.
Did you think it was going your way from the beginning, or did you feel halfway through that you'd cracked it?
He played a very unusual opening, and I had flew out of my opening book, and I had to look. But after the opening, he was going to weaken his king side, and there I could move in the knight and the rook, and so he first lose his rook against my knight, and then it goes downhill for him.
Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Another round of applause for our winner, Tim C.S.I. Benfeldt.